Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode where we are going to talk about relationships. Uh, Relationships that may or may not end up being something serious, like becoming engaged or getting married, and then maybe eventually having kids. Um, some relationships end, some relationships, you power through it, and then you get to know each other, you become more comfortable with each other, and then you decide whether or not you want to spend the rest of your life with that person, right? You know, or some people that, you know, that's not really that important to them. Some people they want to remain monogamous, right? They want to be in an open-ended relationship. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. You know, I'm pretty conservative on that for the most part. You know, it's just what I believe. But honestly, when you really look at the statistics, right, and you really and you start to monitor, people around you, people that are in relationships specifically, are they happy or are they not happy? If we're really honest with ourselves, most people that we see that are in committed relationships aren't really, they're not happy. Uh, and who knows if it's, to put on this facade that, like, that you're in a happy committed relationship. You're not alone. You probably have kids with that person. um, but that doesn't necessarily make your relationship better, right? There's a lot of women that want to get into relationships with guys because they think that they can change them, or they think that they can make them better, and they think that they'll help them grow up and become a better man having kids with them. And we all know that is just emphatically not true. uh, it actually gets worse. The deeper the hole is that you're digging for yourselves in that regard. um, how many of the relationships and the marriages that we see are because of peer pressure, or because of societal pressure, or pressure from our family, especially your parents, or pressure from your friends, because now uh, you know you're in your 30s, right? Or maybe even in your 40s, and you look around and you're like, why are all my friends married? Why do all my friends have kids, and I'm over here, and I have pets, or I have cats and dogs, or I'm in a roommate situation right now. Um, but all my friends, they seem to have it all figured out. They seem to be really happy. They're not alone, you know, and they don't have to worry about, you know if they're going to have somebody to wake up next to, when they wake up in the morning, or you know if they're going to die alone, right? Those are all very valid, very common fears, right? uh, and a lot of the relationships and marriages that we see also stem from uh, loneliness. Feeling like you're just all alone in this cruel, terrifying world. And that's not necessarily true. You might be alone, but you don't have to feel lonely. Maybe you're the best company that you could ever have right now. And if you're the best company that you could ever have, then you're going to be even better company for for the next person that comes along in your life. That's just the reality. You have to love your own company, like coach Corey Wayne talks about all the time. you have to love hanging out with yourself before someone else can enjoy hanging out with you. You have to validate and reassure yourself before you can do that for someone else, or before someone else can do that for you. That's the way that it goes, and it shouldn't matter how long it takes too, because everybody's different. For some people it's instantaneous, for some people it takes months, years, but however long that takes for you, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about all of this, biological clock bullshit, or like any of this. Hey, you gotta, if you're a man and you don't get married and have kids, by the time you're 35, 40 years old, then you're probably a lost cause and you're never going to change. And, you probably shouldn't even be worried about getting into a relationship at that point. And both of those narratives are complete fabricated lies. Like I mean, there are these celebrities, right? Like Chelsea Handler she's not married, she doesn't have kids. Sarah Silverman, she's not married, she doesn't have kids. They're both they're both over 45 years old, and I'm not a huge fan of either. Sarah Silverman's pretty funny, I guess, but like it seems as though lately all I keep hearing about from the right is why are these women single? Why aren't these women married? Who cares? Why does it matter, given everything else that's going on in our current world right now? What does it matter if a woman or a man chooses to be single for the rest of their life? That's their choice, and if they say that they're happy and they're happy with their choice, well then leave them alone. Why does it matter? It didn't really matter up until like 2 or 3 years ago, or 5 or 6 years ago. Why does it all of a sudden matter? Oh, because our birth rate is declining, our depopulation is going up. No, neither one of those are factual. We don't have a birth rate decline. We don't have a depopulation. We have the most people in this country right now than we've ever had. We have 2x the amount of people that we have in this country, compared to how many people we had in the 1950s, right? Especially with COVID, the pandemic that happened, that started 3 years ago, right? People were having kids left and right because people were cooped up. People were just, they were stuck with their husbands or their wives. And so all you could do is fuck, right? All you could do is have sex. And so we had a pretty big baby boom during that time, of around the 2020, 2021 time period. So no, again, people, if you're a conservative, if you're on the right, I want you to listen to me and understand what I'm saying here. That depopulation and our birth rate, it's not an issue right now. It's not a priority. I'm sorry. There's too many other things going on right now that they're trying to shield away from everybody, that they don't want people to know. It's a distraction. That's all it really is. If you are a person in your 20s, in your 30s, or even in your 40s, and you are not ready, well then you are not ready. If you haven't found the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Not even someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. I'm talking about somebody that you genuinely, you guys match. You enjoy each other's company. You make each other laugh. You are, you know, you trust each other. You can be vulnerable with each other without any judgment or without, you know, chastising each other. That's what you want to look for. You want to look for your soulmate first before you even consider marriage or having kids. That's what's really important right now, because what's happening in this country right now is a direct result of dysfunctional families. It's a direct result of unhappy marriages. And guys, take it for what it's worth, but I think that there are more unhappy, unsatisfied marriages than we know about right now. I think it's more common than we think it is. I don't think that the divorce rate is 50%. That's a 30-year-old statistic. I think it's actually a lot higher. And that's not even including like you know, separations, because divorce is expensive. You know, especially if you have kids, because you know, like I mean, I've seen it with guys that, like, I mean, they look older now because of all the stress that they've had to deal with, you know, in their custody battles, and, you know, like having to hire lawyers and having to pay out of pocket, and, you know, it's just a whole mess. So some people are not even leaving the ink dry on the paper. They're just going their separate ways, like their boyfriend and girlfriend, right? You know, even if you are boyfriend and girlfriend, and you've been living together for, you know, 5 to 7 years, and now it's a common law marriage, well, then you just go your separate ways. You don't even get the courts. You don't get the government involved at all. So the separation here is actually anywhere between 60 and 70%, maybe even higher than that. Who knows? Because the amount of people that actually find their true love or actually find their soulmate is very rare, and it's a microcosm of our entire population. It's a small percent of people, and I don't think people understand that. I don't think people realize that. Quit worrying about Chelsea Handler. Quit worrying about Sarah Silverman. Quit worrying about Bill Maher. You know, who gives a fuck? Who cares? If you want to get married and you want to have kids, then go get married and go have kids. If you don't, you don't. That's how it was when I was growing up, and now all of a sudden it's a major issue now. Wake up, guys. It's time to reimagine our priorities right now, because our priorities are fucked right now. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it brought value, and if it did, share it with your friends and your family. Subscribe to me on YouTube at Collectively Fearless, and yeah, just share this video with whomever you think needs to hear it. But anyway, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you again soon.